Hey guys, let's talk Married at First Sight, Season 20, Episode 10. So, starting with the couples as they appear in the episode, we start with Adam and Marissa. She was trying to do the homework that they either got from Dr. Lisa or Paul, and he was not taking it seriously at all. I can see that Adam is the problem, just like I thought that he would be. I didn't like him from episode one, and that feeling has not changed. The relationship is still giving very much surface. She's trying to go through the questions to get to know him, and he is lacing the answers, his answers, with a lot of innuendo and all of that. He joked about having a threesome with Felipe. Like, the guys on this season give me pause, and that's all I want to say there. They went shopping and he's still out buying the crazy looking clothes, and he ain't really made any change after their meeting with the experts. He made a joke um with Marissa about a push-up bra. Now he was like, "No, I'm just playing." I saw on TikTok, someone was like, he makes these jokes about Marissa and then disguises them as a joke because he doesn't like Marissa. And when he made that comment about her getting a push-up bra to fix what's going on there, I was like, yes, 100%. He does not like Marissa, and he does make fun of her and disguise it as a joke in order to say what he really feels. And then she said when they were in the store and he was, putting on the crazy clothes, she said, "I'm actively getting the ick." And yeah, girl, run for your life, because he ain't it. Then we have Nikki and Sean. They were having a picnic, and I just he's looking towards decision day, and trying to talk about that and discuss that. And she said that she's hopeful, but she's not quite sure how far they'll get intimately. And he then makes a comment the next morning. They're getting dressed, and he comes to her in the kitchen, and he's like, um that he was wondering if they could mutually masturbate. It was so weird, so that he could get a release. And that's how a wife should show up for her husband, knowing that he needs that. And it was very, very uncomfortable. But Nikki was very communicative, and she didn't get angry, and she communicated calmly. But he then twists. I don't like Sean. I don't like him. I think that he is hypersexual, and it's a problem. And yes, I know that sex is a part of marriage, but it seems to be his only concern. Then I have Tori and Felipe. She was telling her friends about, his past, and her friends aren't sure about Felipe, and neither am I. And Felipe stated that he is afraid that he will run. So on this episode is Courtney's birthday, and Nick gets her a cake, and they're gonna have a party or whatever. And he brought her the cake and the gifts and things, and she said it really doesn't mean anything because she still doesn't know anything about Nick, and she needs more from him. They go to the party, and there wasn't a seat for Nick and Courtney to sit together. And Nick is just looking around because, of course, he wants to sit with his wife. And she's like, yeah, whatever. She's not really interested in sitting with him. But then she asks Michelle to move. And so Michelle moves, and they're sitting together. However, she didn't really talk or interact with him once they sat down. Um, and Courtney, I put Courtney needs therapy, and that's been clear, and that's going to probably be my comment every time we talk about Courtney. And then I forgot to say about Sean that Nikki is trying, because they had a little intimate moment on the couch that I didn't need to see, but I guess she is trying to get there with Sean, but it's just gonna take time. But I can say that she's actively trying, because after that whole shower conversation, I really don't want Sean to touch me, but she lets him touch her. So there's that. Then we have Mecca and Bella Jolie. They wanted to discuss, they were talking amongst themselves, and they want to discuss what happened in the group therapy session. He said that he felt attacked, and Belle said was she was mad because she felt like he was attacked too, and she was worried about being able to get some peen. Her words, not mine. Um, because of what happened, because he kind of withdrew after that. Um, then they go to couples counseling with Paul, and he tells Paul that he felt attacked, and that he can see himself loving Belle. And he said he never felt love towards a woman before. That gave me a little question. Towards a woman, have you felt love towards someone else? Paul says that Mecca is a self sabotager, which I agree, and Belle Jolie feels like she has to be Mecca's protector. And Paul says that he believes that that Belle Jolie loves Mecca, but she's just not going to say it. And I agree. She's trying to protect herself because she doesn't know how much he's able to give, which I think is the right thing to do. Then we have Michelle and Cam. They went to Michelle's condo. He is very infatuated with his wife. He sort of, he said his words that he kind of, in a way, feels like she's too good for him, which he should feel like that, because that means that he would probably be nurturing of that relationship and take care of her, because he can't believe that she's with him. He I like them. They're still, in my book, the most boring couple, because we don't really get to see, we just get to see them, loving on each other, but we don't, not that I want to see them argue, because I don't necessarily need to see that. I just want to see more of what their conversation and what their day to day is like. And then we have he likes that she's kind of like spirited and not like so level. Like, she does have a little fire to her. And then we have Devin and Caitlin. Devin tried at the birthday dinner for Courtney. Devin tried to talk to Caitlin, excuse me, tried to talk to Courtney about, her treatment of Nick. And there was an explosive argument between Devin and Caitlin. I mean, excuse me, between Devin and Courtney, to the point where Courtney turns around and addresses Caitlin and tells her to get her man. So then Caitlin comes to the table, and she's like, "What's happening?" And he's trying to explain, but she's not really wanting to hear it. And Caitlin was like, "Look, I just met you. I don't want to just automatically take your side. Girl, that's your husband. You're not going to." I ain't saying that he was right in the situation, but she is clearly like, "Boy, I don't know you." Like, it was crazy. And they argued that night, and he was very inebriated, and she didn't really want to deal with it. And yeah, it got explosive. But that was Married at First Sight.